all very uniquely different people.
Diversity is key.
What's a big problem with college, Patrick?
My biggest problem with college is the fact that none of what I'm learning in theory gets applied until I graduate and get a job. It feels like a bunch of theory, bunch of people sitting in an ivory tower talking about stuff without anybody actually executing in the real world.
Well, is the big problem that teachers aren't paid more than what they could make if they were in the real world? Because like you can't get the best people at doing something because it's really expensive to get them.
That's a problem I definitely found in computer science. I remember talking with one of my professors, and as soon as a student graduates with a comp sci degree from Ohio State, they're going to get paid $100,000 to go work for Amazon, $100,000 to go work for Google, or any startup here in Columbus. They'll get paid like, I don't know, what, 30, 40K to work at Ohio State. It's a no-brainer. There are no unemployed comp sci students in Columbus. The job market snatches them up as soon as they're ready. So there are no teachers, especially in the computer science department, because there's so many opportunities for them to work anywhere else than in academia.
So what if it were more heavily compensated, like for every profession? Like for psychology, like what if schools had enough money to be able to get the best psychologist in the entire area to be the professor by paying them more than they'd be able to make in the free market?
My immediate reaction is that doesn't sound sustainable.
How so?
It's hiring that kind of person is going to mean that they get paid a higher salary, which means that money needs to come from somewhere, which is probably going to result in raising students' tuition, which is going to be justifiable because they have the best teacher of psychology there.
Yeah.
But with college
what if there were tools that bridge the gap between that where it wasn't as expensive as you thought to do that?
It would be awesome. If we could have those kind of teachers, it would be awesome.
I
don't know if it's the teachers though, it's just the structure.
You think?
I think it's the structure.
But like, wouldn't you want the person who's the
apply.
best at doing that to be your teacher if you could?
Yeah.
Isn't that the end of it, you know? Like, what if each school literally, like every university, it was an honor to be a professor because that meant you were the best at doing that in the entire area, and you were paid in as much as you'd make or more than what you could make if you were actually doing it in the real world.
Why wouldn't that professor just create an online course, publish it on Udemy, Coursera, Lynda, and then he's not just restricted to benefiting the people who are at his university. His knowledge, being the best expert, benefits every single person. Him as a teacher is able to make more money because he's charging a lot less with a lot more students.
Yeah.
And then his teachings, rather than being erased at the end of the lecture when he finishes, they're saved forever.
And so this is a hypothetical situation describing the main problem with education, and what that is that the people who are best at doing things, and I genuinely think I've had teachers that are that have done well in the free market doing whatever it is that they're doing, but that's as a business student. Maybe it doesn't apply to other majors as much. But that being said, I think how crazy would it be if every student were capable of learning from the person who's the best at doing something through, let's say, Udemy or Voice, something like that, the modern platforms that literally did not exist 30 years ago where you had to learn with pen and paper. And so I think, why would you even pay $80, $90, $200,000 to go to college when you could get better information from the people who are the best at doing what you want to learn to do? And that's why the internet is going to be insane in terms of educating people compared to what we've been used to, I think.
It flips the script. Rather than having 25 people, if a teacher is teaching one class, rather than having 25 people paying the tuition to fund that one guy's lifestyle, on a Udemy course, you have the entire globe funding your lifestyle. So each individual has to pay a lot less.
How much do they usually cost, like the classes for Udemy? I know I've seen them for like 10, 20, but are there really expensive ones?
They're always discounted. They always, that's their marketing campaign, is they have a big price of like $119, $200. They're discounted. You never pay more than $15.
Pretty much. How many?
Anything you can imagine.
Like, how many different? Aren't there like a million different?
Gotta be a million. That's how I learned how to code. You're saying how can I talk to the experts and learn from them? My answer is Udemy, because all of this is application. Each of these, they're gonna have deliveries for you to deliver, so that way when you're trying to get a job, it's gonna benefit you. Because all of these understand the people who are taking these courses want it to benefit their real lives.
Yeah, and
unlike
you built a Udemy course where you showed someone else how to do a certain type of programming, and you're someone who's really good at doing that. And so it's cool because that makes me realize there's other people out there. I look through, it says like photography, design. And this isn't an ad for Udemy at all. Like, I just think it's cool that you can learn whatever you want, because in the past, if you wanted to learn about like finance or accounting, you had to go to one of the best colleges for that, and that was the only location where they had the books on that topic before the internet. Like, I guess you could buy all of the books that were sold there, but you had an entire library full of things that you had to search through. And now with the internet, we have access to all of those things. And
Udemy was created in 2009. It's been less than 10 years since that's been a platform and an alternative source of education. That has been around less time than the iPhone.
Let's say you spent, 20 to 30 hours a week on this, taking different classes for 4 years, and then you spent that other $100,000 traveling and meeting people in the way that you would have wanted to while you're in college. Do you think that you would be more fit than having had the traditional,
the biggest thing
100, 200-year-old traditional college experience?
People have gotten me to realize, because I wake up and I'm always thinking about dropping out. You've had the same discussions. It's the people that really make the $10,000 a year I'm spending at Ohio State worth it. Is it actually, am I getting $10,000 worth of value from the people I'm meeting? Maybe. I mean, I did start a company that's potentially going to make millions of dollars, so $10,000 is a drop in the bucket there. But what you were talking about, if I wanted to learn photography from the best, I had to go to a university. As of 2009, that was no longer a thing, but all of our schools are still training people to go towards college. Like, all of the infrastructure of our world is built around building that pipeline.
But what would have to change in traditional colleges to make it better than, like, to make it something that you couldn't get anywhere else again?
I think they need to start embracing the online courses rather than thinking them as a competitor. Rather than Ohio State teachers thinking Udemy is a competitor, they should be
Ohio
embracing.
State teachers need to be the creators of the courses and that will prove who knows the most, because then the best information can be seen and it's documented.
Yes, it allows the teachers to make more money. It allows teachers to create more courses, because once you put out a course, it allows anybody anywhere in the world to ask a question.
And they can honestly make more money in the way that teachers look to make money from books. Now they can make money from sending videos.
Because nobody likes buying the books.
The number of things you could learn and talk about is infinite.
Each year, teachers are always having to research. They have all these research projects. The teachers are just learning, and then they're putting it out in papers that very few people are reading. Why not take those research papers they're formulating and then create a new Udemy course where they can get feedback from a global audience, they can earn money, and then instead of so they're still teaching. Like, this is just an augmentation of what they're already doing. Why aren't teachers filming the lectures that they're giving? That's just valuable information that's disappearing into the ether. Same thing that started us doing this. It's like, all of us have these phenomenal conversations all the time, and none of them are being recorded. Why? Why? That's a question that I've yet to meet a person that gives me a real answer for. The same with the classroom. Why aren't teachers filming these talks? Whether or not you use it, why aren't you filming it? I haven't heard any good answer. Can you think of any reason why a teacher wouldn't want to film the lectures that they're already giving?
I have no idea. Maybe for the sake of their job, if they say something, it is nice for them that I feel like they can say whatever they want, and by the end of the semester, as long as no one has a problem with it, they're good. Maybe they had people micromanage what they can say. That might be one thing. But outside of that, I think it'd be really beneficial, because then people would say more and know more and learn more and have heard more from other people, rather than just the ideas of one person. You could have the ideas of 12 people throughout a semester in one type of information. And so, let's say 3 out of 12 of those click in a traditional setting, you would have missed the mark on that. Now you have an opportunity to learn a few things, because you have diverse perspectives, different people, different ideas, and it go faster too.
I would love to meet someone that has gone and done exactly what you said, rather than going through the 4 year.
Because we shouldn't talk about it. We should
maybe
do it
$300 to get 4 years worth. Because if each Udemy course only costs $10, to get $300 worth, you're getting 30 courses.
Could Udemy become the thing that makes it so that people are capable of making more teaching through the internet than they would be doing it in the free market? You could probably become a better Udemy course creator for design than a designer at a company. That's probably a thing.
I hope so. That's what I'm
Maybe
anticipating with Voice First, with the Ultimate Voice App course.
The biggest problem with education, and we actually haven't talked about this, but it's just so obvious that it's very, very archaic and about to change, or it will die out because it's so expensive that people who learn how to code will have a laughable amount of money compared to people that got a degree at a traditional college. And I think it's a valuable experience, though. That's why I think that it needs to be preserved. But what if all of the classical humanities could be learned through the internet, and it was taught by the person who knew the most about it?